Bet Amud Bet. We're starting from the Mishnah on Bet Amud Aleph on the bottom. Berach al hayayin shelifnei hamazon. We are Friday, we don't know how to eat well. They know how to eat well. They had wine before, wine during the meal, and wine after the meal. That's how you eat. So my friend told me he was in Holland in a special dinner. He said it took 7 hours. The dinner. And it was stages every time, different type of wine and stuff. He said I ate so much and I didn't know, I couldn't understand how I was able to feel it in my stomach. Dr. Avisar אמר לי את זה.
You go to a Russian restaurant.
They move from one place, so by the move holes, different type of setup and drink and that.
So Russians also do that.
Okay.
They only start appetizers at 10 and they serve the real food at like 1 a.m. and they...
עם הוודקה, עם הזה בכלל.
עם הכל, רוקדים וכל זה. הם עושים...
Okay.
So, berach al hayayin shelifnei hamazon. By the way, you know the wine Fabregen?
Yeah.
The worst wine ever.
No, what's special?
House. It's so funny.
What's special about this wine? Very low alcohol. Lama? The Chabad Hasidim were sitting with the Rebbe and his Vaidus Shabbat afternoon for 4 hours, and they used to drink wine and they're getting drunk too fast. It was too much for them. So that's why they did this special wine, very low alcohol. That's why it's called Fabregen wine.
I've never seen it.
Fabregen.
I saw 5% and I put it back.
Okay. So that's the whole point. That's exact point. Shouldn't be 13, should be 5.
I never saw it.
Yes, I use it on עולה לסדר. If you need לכתחילה,
Feed for Kiddush, you can
למה לא? It's a wine.
only 5%.
I do grape juice, מה קרה לך? grape juice, you have 100% sugar. Okay.
1000%.
משנה, ברח על היין שלפני המזון. So there were 3 times to drink wine. So if you drink the wine before the meal, פתר את היין שלאחר המזון. It's פתר the wine after the meal. The common denominator between the wine before the meal and after, both of them are not with the food.
Yeah.
Right?
So the
wine before without the food. Okay. ברח על הפרפרת שלפני המזון, וזה ברכה on the appetizer before the meal, פתר את הפרפרת שלאחר המזון. He's פותר the פרפרת after the meal. ברח על הפת, if he said ברכה on the bread, now during the meal, פתר את הפרפרת, he's פותר all of the side dishes. אבל הפרפרת, if he said ברכה on the side dishes, לא פתר את הפת, he's not פותר the bread. בית שמאי אומרים, אף לא מעשה גדרה. Even special dishes like type of oatmeals, then חלקת agrees, they used to cut the wheat into different sizes. Even if they hold it, even that is not poter. The Gemara will elaborate what they're referring to. כבר נראה. הגמרא שואלת מה מדובר. The Gemara will elaborate.
For Hamotzi, it's really what you're talking about.
Right, not sure. The Gemara will talk about it. היו יושבים, if they were sitting, כל אחד מברך לעצמו. If they were sitting without הסבה. הסבה is laying down, נכון? So we do it on Pesach again. We don't know how to eat. 25 minutes, it's over. They used to have a long meal. So they used to do הסבה. On couches, they used to eat.
We have no time today, we're busy.
Yeah. So we used to eat on couches, laying down and...
שישי בלילה.
So היו יושבים, כל אחד מברך לעצמו. If they were just sitting, each one going to say bracha by himself, because it doesn't feel that you are all together on the wine. Hesebu, if they were laying down, אחד מברך לכולם. One of them say bracha to everything. It's either wine or bread, we'll see it later today. בא להם יין בתוך המזון. Now, if the wine came during the meal, before and after with the same bracha, during the meal, they need to say a different bracha. כל אחד ואחד מברך לעצמו. Each one say bracha by himself. Why before one say bracha to all of them? The Mishnah will explain. The Gemara will explain. I want you to step in the Gemara. אחר המזון, the wine that came after the meal, meaning in case they didn't drink wine before the meal, they drink wine during the meal, they say bracha, so each one say bracha by himself. After ברכת המזון, if they drink wine again, אחד מברך לכולם. One going to say bracha for everybody.
Something about the meal.
והוא אומר על המוגמר. He's the one who's going to say bracha on the ketoret, on the incense. Incense, they used to have a smoke, nice smell, incense after the meal.
So they have to say bracha on the smell.
בורא מיני.
בורא פרי, בורא מיני, we'll see that's גמרא
That's it.
today and Sunday. ואף על פי שאין מביאים את המוגמר אלא לאחר הסעודה. Even though the מוגמר, the incense comes only after the meal.
המוגמר is incense?
כן. Yet the one who did the bracha on the wine after the meal, he is the one who's going to do the bracha on the incense, בורא מיני וסמים.
Who is it?
מצה וסמים, we'll see.
המוגה?
מוגמר. מוגמר is the
Who's
incense.
saying this? What rab is this?
What does that have to do with the mugmar?
Is there a special rabbis
But
that's saying this? Who's the rabbi saying
לא
this?
everybody agree.
Yeah.
So, אמר רבי בר חנא, אמר רבי יוחנן, לא שנו, we didn't say that bracha on the wine before the meal will prepare you the wine after the meal, only אלא בשבתות וימים טובים. Only in Shabbatat and Yom Tov, that people usually, even on Shabbat and Yom Tov, they have more time, and even after the meal, they sit and drink more. So when you say bracha on the wine before the meal, on your mind you have also after. הואיל ואדם קובע סעודתו על היין, people are having סעודה, they drink wine for long. אבל בשאר ימות השנה, by the other days of the year, מברך על כל כוס וכוס. He needs to say bracha on each glass at a time. Meaning, if he said bracha at the beginning, he needs to say bracha on the one after. And even if he said bracha on the one after, during the year, they don't drink much wine. Pay attention. So, even after the meal, you drink 1 cup. And if you drink another cup, you say bracha again. On every cup, you're
If
going
you
to
finish it
say,
completely,
in every cup, you're going to say bracha again.
Versus in Shabbat and Yom Tov, they wouldn't.
No, on everything you drink, you say 1 bracha. But on non-Shabbat and Yom Tov, after the meal you drink, every cup you say bracha again and again. Itman Abi, we said the same thing. Amar Rabba Bar Mari, Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Lo Ishanu. We didn't say that is Yotze on 1 bracha at the beginning all the way to the end, אלא בשבתות וימים טובים, and also בשעה שאדם יוצא מבית המרחץ, the people used to leave the shower. We take shower every day, so we don't appreciate it. We used to take it occasionally. Sometimes they forgot. So when a man leaves the shower house, that's the time he needs wine to relax his body. He drink a lot of wine. Then 1 bracha will poter all of the wine he's going to drink.
During the time.
Or בשעת הקזת הדם, when they used to let blood out, they used to
For
let blood
sickness,
for
right?
health,
Yeah.
health purposes. They used to let blood. So after you let blood, you need to eat and
what do you mean
drink.
by blood?
What's he done? Donate blood כביכול, but it's really let blood, it's not donate.
It would spill on the
It
ground.
will be wasted.
אבל מה זה עושה? כאילו, מה זה...
It was healthy for the body to recycle the blood, that's what he used to
למה
do.
לא
Still
עושים את
is,
זה
I
היום?
think.
Ask the doctor,
See,
עושים היום, you donate blood, כן,
יש.
כביכול, but you used to do it occasionally. The Gemara talks about it a few places.
I hate needles, I'm not doing nothing.
So just do it with your finger. Okay, בשעת הקזת הדם, and you used to let blood out. After you let blood out, you need to regenerate your body, so you used to drink wine.
That's fine, I'm blood pumping.
הואיל ואדם קובע סעודתו על היין. On those times, a man make a סעודה on wine. Wine is the main dish. אבל בשאר ימות השנה, but during the year, מברך על כל כוס וכוס. On any glass that you drink, you gotta say ברכה. Hold on. רבי בר מרי איקלה לבי רבא בחול. He came to Rava on a weekday. חזיה דבריך לפני המזון. He said that he said bracha on the cup before the meal. And then ואדר בריך לאחר המזון. Then he said bracha on the one after the meal. So on each glass and glass he said different bracha.
So, regular day.
אמר לי ישר. חזק וברוך. וכן אמר רבי ישוע בן לוי ישר. You did the right thing.
יש הכל.
רבי יצחק בר יוסף איקלה לבי אביי. He came to the house of אביי ביום טוב. on יום טוב. חזיה דבריך על כל קסה וקסה. On every house and house, no. On every glass and glass, he was saying ברכה. So, אמר לי, this is יום טוב, לא סבר למה ליד רבי ישוע בן לוי, don't hold like רבי ישוע בן לוי, that on Shabbat and יום טוב, you don't need to say ברכה on his glass, only during the weekdays. אמר לי, נמלח נא, I was changing my mind, I'm not used to drinking like me. He wasn't used to drinking wine during the meal. So when he said ברכה on the wine before the meal, and then it was it, and then he decided to drink after the meal again, it was a new decision for him to,
צריך לברכת המזון.
and therefore it's a new, right? It's a new time of drinking wine, and he said bracha again. So it's really on a practical level. It depends up to people. If you're drinking 1 bottle and you, Baruch Hashem La'olam Amen V'Amen, you continue and you're eating, in such a case, 1 bracha is pater. If you drink a glass, you're not going to drink anymore, and then suddenly you decide to drink another one, And he's saying the bracha again.
What happened to Savel? None of you rabbis
Huh?
believe in Savel? No, Savel.
Saval, yeah.
Saval becomes after the Gemara. Meaning, we don't know what's the halacha from the Gemara. This is where Saval kicks in. But here, they knew the halacha.
Gotcha.
So over here, it was Yom Tov or Shabbat, whatever it was, and he would say a bracha on each kos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before and after. And why? Yom Tov Shabbat, you don't need to say. He said, no, for me, it's like a weekday because he doesn't drink wine usually. So he was changing his mind.
But he
When
probably
you
said,
say before and after, what do you mean by that?
Before the meal and after the meal.
But wasn't that what you're supposed to do anyways on Shabbat and Yom Tov?
You don't have to drink after.
On Shabbat and Yom Tov, there's dafka when they drink after.
Yeah, that's what his question. It was Yom Tov and he was drinking after and he said bracha. Lama? That's what he said.
but he said Birkat Hamazon also after you probably finished.
Yeah, that's something else. The meal is separate from the wine. The wine
Right.
before and after, it's a different type of drinking. We're going to see now.
Interesting. So you could do Birkat Mazon, but then still be like poter. Like
You
on
would say
the-
the wine before. Yeah,
Huh.
exactly. You know when do you have it?
Yeah.
People don't realize you're eating a cold food or anything. Let's say you're eating a banana and water. You're
Right.
drinking water, don't you? You're drinking water,
Right.
and then you're about to leave your house, and you want to continue drinking the water.
You wanna what?
You want to continue to drink the water. When you said bracha on the water, you meant to drink it outside. When you said bracha on the banana, you meant to
Eating
eat it
indoors,
now.
right.
Okay.
So when do you say borei nefashot?
When you finish the water, no?
No, when you finish the banana.
Banana. After.
Yeah, when you finish the
When you
banana.
finish the
You
banana-
say Birkat again to water.
No, just open it. When they finish the banana, they're going to say the tzaddikim. When you finish the banana, you say borei nefashot. טוב, מה שלומך? הנה גם יהודה הגיע. אז מה הברכה על בננה? בורא פרי האדם. יפה. ובורא נפה.
שוד.
איווה. מה הברכה על בננה?
בננה.
בננה. מה הברכה עדה? מה?
אז מה עושים אם אוכלים בננה ואז אומרים בוא נפשות על הבננה?
So you say בורא נפשות על banana and you continue drinking the wine.
The water?
אתה רוצה בננה? לא.
Yeah.
יואו, זה לא. נפתח לה? She's going to break the door, that's my concern. היא לא מוותרת. נביא לה בננה?
לא.
לא, אתה רוצה בננה?
לא.
אוקיי. היא באה אלוהו. בא להם יין בתוך המזון. מה הברכה על יין? פורה פרי.
הגפן.
סברי מרנן.
לחיים!
סברי מרנן. סברי מרנן, לחיים? אוקיי. היא באה אלוהו, בא להם יין בתוך המזון, they had wine בתוך הסעודה. מהו שיפתור יין שלאחר המזון? We said that the yain before פותר the yain after. So let's say they didn't drink wine before, and they drank wine only during the meal.
Would that take
Would that פותר the wine after the meal? אם תמצא לומר, if you're gonna say בירך על היין שלפני המזון, פותר את היין שלאחר המזון, if you're gonna say that the wine before the meal פותר the wine after, that makes sense, משום דזה לשתות וזה לשתות. Both of them are for the purpose of pure drinking.
The wine that you say
Before
bracha.
and before and after, before
So
the
you don't
meal
say bracha on the
and
after.
after the meal.
So
if you don't need to say bracha after, lama lo? Because both of the wines are for the purpose of pure drinking. So the wine before, poter the wine after.
Okay.
But here, the זה לשתות וזה לשרות. But the wine after the meal is for drinking. The wine during the meal is to soak the food. It's called לשרות, to soak the food in wine while you're eating. A different purpose of. It's a different purpose of one is to drink and one to soak the food. Maybe the bracha during the meal is not going to be poter the bracha after, or maybe לא שנה, there is no difference. The Gemara says, Rav Amar poter. Now we get big מחלוקות over here. Rav says that the wine during the meal poter the wine after. The Rav Kahana Amar, אינו poter. It's not going to be poter. Rav Nachman Amar, poter. ורב ששת אמר, אינו פותר. רב הונא ורב יהודה וכל תלמידי דרב, רבי דוד המלוד וסטודנט תורה, אמרי, אינו פותר. big tumult. In Yiddish is called tumult, like בלגן, דיבורים, פותר, לא פותר, שמעת מה הרב הזה אמר, פותר, לא פותר. הייתי ורוב לרב נחמן, רב נחמן which says that the wine on the meal, פותר. The wine after, he asked him from our Mishnah, בא להם יין בתוך המזון, we said, כל אחד ואחד מברך לעצמו, each one says ברכה to himself. לאחר המזון, after the meal, אחד מברך לכולם. אז זו state that if they have wine during the meal,
That's laying down.
each one going to say bracha by himself. No, Sam, during the meal we said they say bracha to himself. After the meal, the Mishnah said that means that even though they said bracha during the meal, after the meal, one of them going to say bracha for everybody. So you see that you need to say bracha after the meal.
When we said the wine before Poter Dayan Achrei, that's on Shabbat and Yom Tov only because before.
Right, but that's not our topic.
Okay. I just want to make
topic,
sure.
no, we're saying now.
We said at one point, I call
We're
it
saying now in the Mishnah that during the meal they're going to say each one bracha, and after the meal, one of them going to say bracha for all of them.
everybody.
But you do see that you need to say bracha after the meal, even if you said bracha during the meal.
What was the whole shtick with Shabbat and Yom Tov? That it was a meal. So
What?
why would you?
No, so Shabbat Yom Tov was for the before and after, that people drink a lot.
But
We
what was
didn't
the,
talk
what was
about
the, what was
meal.
the reason?
We didn't talk about the meal.
What was the reason that you said before?
No, because before and after, again, both of them for drinking. That's why it's for sure motzi. Our question is, during the
Shot.
meal and after the meal, one is to soak the wine, the other one is to drink.
It's two different reasons why you're drinking
What
the
is
wine.
to soak the wine? No,
Yeah, that we say the
I
soak,
got
to
you.
soak the food.
I got
When
you.
you drink wine during the meal, we call it to soak
Okay.
the food.
It's
So
not
there's
just for
different
drinking.
type of purpose of
Oh,
drinking.
okay.
Intentions. You have
So
different
that's why you have the
intentions.
machloket, whether it's
Gotcha.
poter or not. But from our Mishnah, we see clear that he's poter. He's not poter.
Not poter.
Because during the meal, each one says bracha by himself, and after the meal, one says bracha to everybody. אמר לה, אחי, כמה, אם לא בא להם יין בתוך המזון, the Mishnah doesn't talk about an order, that's how was the meal.
Right.
Rather, during the meal, each one says bracha to himself. After meal, one says bracha to everybody, but wasn't done on the
he
same,
said after-
not necessarily on the same meal. Rather, אחי כמה רגעים, אם לא בא להם יין בתוך המזון, if they didn't have wine during the meal, אלא לאחר המזון, only after the meal, then אחד מברך לכולם, one will say ברכה to everybody, and you have no ראיה. So they understood the Mishnah as a flow of a meal, and basically it's not a flow of a meal, it's two different types of halachot, which not necessarily indicate.
So what does the laying down have to do with anything? I'm just because
No, we talk about it now.
And why is everyone that's even during the meal saying their own? Can't it be motzi the whole if they're all for the same
We
purpose?
talk about it now.
The machloket right now is the meal wine Poter Achrei. The machloket is right now. Does the wine the bracha say during the meal Poter the one after?
Right.
That's the machloket. Okay.
אבל סיימנו.
Oh, not
We have
versus
no
not
answer.
versus them
Yeah, it
saying.
doesn't matter
one
whether it's Shabbat or not.
But we hold הלכה למעשה, it's not poter. הלכה למעשה,
not?
it's not. Therefore, when it's
That's what we
זימון,
say,
Right, of course.
כל הפריד ג'ופן אחרי זימון.
Right.
But it's not poter.
אחד מברך לכולם.
Right.
זה אותו...
כן, לא, אבל פה לא כולם שותים אצלנו, רק הוא שותה. Here we're talking about everybody drinking wine,
והוא פותר
לא, אני
את זה.
מדבר
אחד
על
עושה
זה.
לכולם. זימון is not for לכולם, he makes זימון for, but he's the one who drinks, he's the only one who drinks.
אז אם אני רוצה לשתות מהכוס, אני צריך לברך?
או להגיד לו, כוון אותך.
רק צריך שיהיה לו כוונה עליך, בדיוק.
כן, הייתי לנו איזה...
כן, יהיה לו כוונה, בדרך כלל people don't drink after, רק אחרי, תן לו שהוא ישתה.
לא בהבדלה.
של ברכה.
בהבדלה usually.
If you do drink, it's fine.
מה ההבדלה? אתה שופך את זה לנר.
You have to do
לא, הם משאירים קצת.
When you do Abdallah, you have to drink a little wine. You have to
נתן לי,
taste.
you have to drink רביעית.
You have to drink Rabbi?
The
No,
one
not
saying
רביעית,
it.
תגליס מלא לוגמר. לזן רביעית, but you're getting into ספק ברכות. You know exactly how much...
I drink the whole thing.
Okay,
anyway.
מצוין,
Just,
okay.
just because of
drink
that.
this, we drink
Yeah,
this.
very good.
סעודה שלישית.
Okay.
מתי? סעודה שלישית.
לא, הבדלה.
You know,
בהבדלה?
I see people just take a sip and that's it.
אומר המצוק.
כן, ג'יק, אז יש לי...
בירך על הפת, פתר את הפרפרת. You said it's said ברכה on the bread, it's פותר the appetizer. לא, פרפרת is not appetizer, it's side dishes.
Side dishes.
Side dishes.
Yeah?
Better,
רגע,
yeah.
אז לפני אנחנו המחלוקת נשארה...
הלכה למעשה צריך לברך, אינו פותר.
פרפרת, פרפרת.
בירך על הפת, if you say ברכה on the bread, we said the משנה פתר את הפרפרת. it's פותר the side dishes on during the meal. פרגיות, הכל. על הפרפרת, לא פתר את הפת. if you say ברכה on the side dishes, obviously is not פותר the bread. בית שמאי אומרים, אף לא מעשה קטרה, not even, let's call it oatmeal. not oatmeal. The Gemara says, בא אלוהו, we're asking a question של רב אילן, בית שמאי, הרי שפליגי, when they said not even מעשה גדרה, they argued on the first part of the Mishnah, or דילמה הסייפה פליגי, or on the end part of the Mishnah. the Gemara explained. The כאמר תנקמה said at the beginning, בירך על הפת, פתר את הפרפרת. תנקמה said, if you say ברכה on the bread, you are פותר the side dishes, and וכל שכן מעשה גדרה that you are פותר, because it's similar to the bread, it's oatmeal, came from grain. ואתי בית שמאי למימר, בית שמאי came to say, לא מבאי פרפרת דלא פטרה לא פת, not only the side dishes, the bread is not פותר, אלא אפילו מעשה גדרה, that it's similar to bread, it's grain, נמי לא פטרה. So one way to explain the מחלוקת, they're arguing that according to Tanakama, bread פותר, פרפרת אין מעשה גדרה, and בית שמאי says, not only פרפרת is not פותר, even מעשה גדרה it's not פותר. או דילמה, או את המחלוקת is, הספר הפליגי. That we just said, דקטני, ברך על הפרפרת, לא פתר את הפת. We said at the end, we said ברכה on the side dishes is not פותר the bread. פתו דלא פתר, only the bread is not פותר. אבל מעשה גדרה, פתר. But other type, meaning if you say ברכה מזונות או rice, you are פותר.
The oatmeal.
The oatmeal, מעשה גדרה. ואתו בית שמאי למימר, בית שמאי come and say, אפילו מעשה גדרה נמי לא פתר. Even מעשה גדרה is not going to be פותר.
By the pulpit.
If you say ברכה
the same
מפרפרת,
ברכה.
you're not פותר מעשה גדרה. The Gemara says, תיקו. Maybe not even if, maybe probably I'm wrong. If it's same ברכה. It's a different ברכה, but if ברכה on it, it should be פותר the
So
rest.
why?
But isn't that common sense already though? Why are they even mentioning it's common sense? If I'm saying at the man this, why would they put that in
This
the
is the
no?
Shammai opinion, so
It's in front.
their common sense is different than you. It's important to understand. But Shammai, they have different common sense.
But how could someone say if I have something that was or now a side dish, it's adama?
So now, if you have kavana on it, yes, probably talking about without kavana. So maybe it is mezonot without kavana. I'm not sure exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rabbi, let me miss something. You said if you say on rice, mezonot, and then you have.
No, you are yotze, but here probably without kavana. If you yotze, this is according to Bet Shammai again.
Okay,
We hold
okay.
it is yotze. בסדר? מה לא?
So, I guess.
מה לא? Teko, meaning we're not sure whether they're arguing on the beginning. Which,
Oh, that's a tekel?
Yeah,
Not on if it's
they're arguing at the
Muterona?
beginning, yeah, no.
Ah.
Or they're arguing at the end. If they're arguing at the beginning that according to Bet Shammai, according to Bet Hillel, המוציא פותר פרגיות and מעשה גדרה,
But it does.
and Bet Shammai said is not פותר even מעשה גדרה. Or they argue at the end, when he said ברכה on the פרפרת, on the side dishes, according to Bet Hillel, it's פותר the מעשה גדרה.
Right.
According to Bet Shammai, it's not פותר
We're not
מעשה
sure which one it
גדרה.
is, okay.
Thank you. Now, finally, we're talking about the meal. היו יושבים, if they were sitting, כל אחד ואחד מברך לעצמו. If they were sitting before the meal, each one says ברכה to himself. הסבו, אחד מברך לכולם. If they were sitting all together,
לא,
אין לו.
אם הם לינים.
לא, לא, דעת מברך לעצמו. No, this is המוציא. This is המוציא. So, היו יושבים כל אחד, if they were sitting, each one say ברכה to himself. But if you do הסבה, one can say ברכה for everybody. on the ברכה, בוא נראה. אומרת הגמרא, הסבו in. Only if they did הסבה, then one can say ברכה for everybody, המוציא לכם מן הארץ. לא הסבו, לא. If they didn't do הסבה, they cannot. מוריאס, ברמיני, we ask a question, 10 שהיו הולכים בדרך, 10 people were walking on the road, אף על פי שכולם אוכלים מכיכר אחד, even though everybody eating from the same loaf of bread, כל אחד ואחד מברך לעצמו. יש לנו עושה ברכה by-himself. ישבו לאכול, if they sat to eat, אף על פי שכל אחד ואחד אוכל מכיכרו, even though each one of them eat from his own bread, yet אחד מברך לכולם. Why I'm going to say ברכה to everybody? קטני ישבו, it's clear, the requirement for אחד to say ברכה for everybody is ישבו, if they sat together. אף על פי שלא הסבו, even though they didn't do הסבה, yet if they sat, it's enough. In our Mishnah we understood that only if הסבו, אחד מברך לכולם. Here we see in this ברייתא, that even if they sat all together, אחד מברך לכולם.
That's not the only difference.
What's the symbol?
That's not the only difference that one was walking and one was sitting down. Also, each one had their own bread and one.
No, so we said we don't care about their own bread. That's the whole point.
No, we don't care.
If they sat together, even if each one has his own bread, yet אחד עושה ברכה to everybody.
Who sobu again?
מה אתה אומר?
That word sobu?
Laying down.
הסבו, הסבה.
It's not lane
Seba.
now, really. Is that lane?
No,
Lane.
leaning back, leaning.
כן, פסח.
להקים פסה back.
ביחד.
So the leaning shows a sign of together. אבל זה לא אספה, זה פעולה של הסבה.
Well, we're all leaning
היה
together.
הסבר, אבל הפעולה, הרגע שהיה סיבה מספיק. אמר, so בקשי, in Amish now we see the requirement for one to say ברכה is הסיבה. In the ברייסה we see the requirement is לשבת ביחד. אז זה פשט, אמר מנחם בר יצחק, כגון דאמרי ניזל וניחו לחמה בדוך פלנה. We're talking about they made an הזמנה. מה זה הזמנה? They
Reservation?
said, let's eat all together in
Like reservation?
G7.
Jason,
Yeah. So when they make an הזמנה, that's a sign of being together. So they don't need to, if they didn't make an הזמנה, then they need to do a seva to show that they are permanently all together.
Right.
Seva, it's a sign of
That was a
permanent
sign, yeah,
sitting.
the sign,
Of
yeah.
permanent sitting. So if you just sit stam, it's not permanent sitting.
It's like
If
in a
they
restaurant.
right, if they do a seva, it's a permanent. But if they say, let's all eat together on the same
They can
place,
sit down.
that's an הזמנה, so even if they sit down, it's enough.
אז אם אני הולך לרסטורנט, וכולם שם יושבים, מסבים, אז איך זוזים מולים כולם?
לא אמרת להם בואו נלך אחי, אתה לא רוצה לשלם על הביל שלהם.
אבל מה? You remember you
בואו
said
נלך.
שבע ברכות?
אבל אם אתה
Not come
מזמין,
and
אבל
see.
אם אתה מזמין חבר...
No, if you guys come, yeah, בואו נאכל ביחד, that makes it one אחד מברך לכולם.
But remember you said something about a Sheva Brachot. No, Siyum Masechet. That you guys went and did it all together, but then everybody paid in the end. So what would be in a case like
Then
that?
I got messed up אחי.
What would be the case? Like, what is because technically like.
So over there was really probably אחד מברך לכולם, you could have do, because they said let's do סיום together.
Right.
But then by paying the
You're right,
That
but
was
yet that's gathering to, that's, each one has his own bread. That will be a glass, each one has his own bread. Since we said let's do go together, then it will be one ברכה.
Nobody died, no, אנחנו לא מזמינים.
Even if it's not Yom Tov Shabbat.
מה אתה אומר?
Even
Yeah,
if-
nothing to do with something Shabbat, no.
Doesn't matter.
Let's see the interesting story with more information. Kinach nafshe de Rav, when Rav passed away, Azlo Talmidav Batrei, his student went after him because they buried him on a different city. Ki Hadri, when they came back from the city where they buried him, Amri, they said, Nizi, let's go. Venichu lachma anahar dank. Let's go and eat bread by the river, by the Dunk River. There was a guy who used to dunk always over there. Basketball, yeah. Vata de karchi, after they were eating the bread, Yatvi, they said, V'kamibailu, and they questioned themselves, 1 second, Hesevu davka tnan? Aval yashvu lo? Can one say bracha for all of us? Is that only a sevu and we didn't do a seva? Sitting is not enough. Odilme, kevan de amri nizel venichul rifta beduchta plania, or reason, since they said, let's go and eat bread on that place, ki sevu dami, is that considered as if they did a seva? They didn't know the answer. Lo have beyadav, they didn't know the answer. Kam Rabade Barava, the student of Rav, Adar Kare Leachore, he took his kriya when a Rav passed away. People needs to do kriya.
Yeah.
So he did one kriya.
The
When
students,
he heard
all
that,
the
the student. So when he heard that, he turned his garment backwards, meaning not backwards. He turned it side, the front to the back, and he did a second kriya. He said, now we realize that Rav that Amar. Nach nafshe de Rav died again. Now I realize that we have no Rebbe to ask. We don't know what to do.
So then he ripped it again.
בברכת מזונה לא גמרנה. We don't know ברכת המזון. They didn't know what to do. ולא היה סבל. עד דעת ההוא סבא, until an old guy came, and סבא, some said, I saw somewhere that anytime it says ההוא סבא, זה הסבא הזה, it's אליהו הנביא.
Wow.
Yeah.
עד דעת ההוא סבא, רמה לו מתניתין הברייתא, he asked the same way we asked the Mishnah on the ברייתא, ושניlu, and he answered to them, כיוון דאמרי ניזל וניחו לחמה בדוך פלנה, since they said, let's go and eat bread on that place, כהסבו דמי, it's equivalent as if,
Right.
כהסבו.
Beautiful.